This is Wuthering Waves, or WuWa, an open-world action combat role-playing game made by Kuro Games, creator of the gacha game Punishing Gray Raven, or PGR. Wuthering Waves is right around the corner and coming out on May 22nd of 2024, so if you're watching this later on, some of this data may be outdated. Keep in mind, all views expressed are my opinion as of CBT2. I am in love with WuWa. As someone who has played a ton of open-world action combat RPGs, Wuthering Waves is just a breath of fresh air in this space. Focusing a ton on the combat and exploration elements, it really feels different to the games that I've already played. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the biggest things that players are excited for in Wuthering Waves. The first point that I wanted to talk about was the movement. In Wuthering Waves, not only can you climb regularly, but if you run at a wall, you begin running up it. It does take more of your stamina over time, but traversing vertical spaces at a much faster pace makes the movement in the game feel very fluid. There's also an anti-collision system, where if you're stuck on a rock, you do like a backflip up over so that you can get back to moving. Aside from it feeling great to move around on foot, there are also plenty of options for other vertical mobility outside of becoming the WuWa version of the Flash.
Alright. Here it goes.
There's also an ability akin to a grappling hook in Wuthering Waves, and it can be used anywhere to gain a bit of vertical mobility. You gain access to it pretty quickly in the story, and when used with specific tethering points on the map, you can gain a lot of height and move across pretty quickly. But if you want to use it arbitrarily or just anywhere in the world, there'll be about a 12-second cooldown until you can use it again. WuWa also has another nice quality of life feature. When you aren't in combat, running doesn't drain your stamina bar either, so you don't have to worry about running out of stamina. If you're running from one place to another, you can just full speed sprint from start to finish. I'm going to leave most of the content that is in the story out of this because I don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't gotten a chance to play the closed beta and wants to experience the story for themselves. But I will say this. When the first closed beta test came out, the story was a little all over the place and tried to focus on too many things at once, and overall, it just spread itself a little too thin. But I'm excited to say that the Wuthering Waves developers have listened to the feedback from the community and have changed probably 90% of the story. So far, I've really enjoyed what I've seen of the new story, and I can't wait to get into the game and see it. If you'd like to view the original trailer for the game, I will link a link in the video that you can click in the top right corner. The combat. This has been the biggest selling point of the game for a lot of people. It's a breath of fresh air to play something that feels like it has actual skill expression. Some changes to the format that some may not be used to. As with its previous title, PGR, the combat in Wuthering Waves features teams of 3 characters. So you have to be a little more selective on who you take with you in this game. With this game being so new and going in fresh, the best tip that I can share with you is to not invest your resources into too many characters at once. Focus on the 3 that you think will make your best team. I would definitely say to build the Rover. For the first time in a game, we actually have a pretty strong MC who can clear all content by themselves, including the solo floors and the Tower of Adversity. Then I would say, look into the characters we're getting for free. As of right now, I believe we are getting Sanhua and Lengyang as well. But this could change upon official release. I'll have another video coming out soon with all the base stats of the characters who will be in the game on launch. You can find that video up top on the right here if it's posted, or if not posted yet, subscribe and hit that bell so that you can be notified when it goes up. Wuthering Waves seems to be pretty generous with its dodging. Seeing as when you get to the upper levels of the hologram boss fights, you'll die in 3 hits or less, so dodging and an understanding of the core mechanics of combat will be an essential skill in this game. When a circle appears around a monster you can attack, it acts like a parry, and as with most games, dodges will depend on the monster's animation, so it may take some getting used to and resetting. There was a lot of feedback regarding weapon hit sounds and feedback on the overall feel of combat, but this is where Wuthering Waves' development team was on the job. Not 2 days after WuWa CBT2 ended, Wuthering Waves released a statement regarding a lot of the concerns players had. For this specific section, we're going to talk about the combat from the Wuthering Waves dev statement, and it reads as such. I'll leave a link to the original statement in the description, so if you have time, go check it out. 1. Overall combat experience optimizations. We are addressing the issue of poor sound effects and hit feedback many of our players mentioned. We will focus on revamping the sound effects of weapon hit feedback, echo skills, resonance skills, and other battle aspects. In addition, we'll improve jumping by adjusting animation speed, camera transitions, and landing feedback to make it feel more natural. 2. Character-specific combat optimizations. We will be making specific adjustments for characters frequently mentioned in the feedback we received. Our current plans include: adjust Ling Yang and Jian Xin's movesets for an elevated overall combat experience. Adjust Verina's HP restoration mechanism so she can use her photosynthesis energy more efficiently. Improve Calcaro's kit. His extra intro skill, Necessary Means, will be available by default. That's a really nice change, so you don't have to worry about getting a wave band so that you can see that really pretty animation. 3. New combat skill practicing dungeons. We will introduce a series of new combat practicing dungeons where you can better familiarize yourself with each character's unique combat mechanisms and practice how to combo. Aside from the points above, we have also started working on other frequently reported issues, such as bad camera experiences, frequent lock-on loss, enemies quitting combat, and counterattack failures. Overall, this feedback is really good. It seems that WuWa's dev team is listening to the player base and will be on top of things. We'll see if this continues over to live servers when they launch, but for now this looks really good for the players and the development team. Multiplayer. The multiplayer we've seen in Wuthering Waves is fairly good. It seems from the information that we've seen, it looks pretty standard to your usual open world multiplayer. But we have a few things to go over. The union level lock for multiplayer has been reduced from 30 to 22. It's a huge change and will get more people playing with their friends sooner, which is definitely a bonus. Speaking of which, there are a few ways that people can join a co-op. The first method is application is required for entry, meaning everyone must apply to your world before they can enter. This is probably the safest and most standard option for people to go with. Another option is direct entry available. This means that if you are online, people can just enter your world at any point in time. It's quite dangerous because if you leave it open or forget to log off, then you can wake up and find that all of your world is extinct. The third option is entry not available. This is for players that don't want to experience multiplayer, those lone wolf types. So, yeah. If that's you, have fun with that. And the last mode is only friends can enter, which is fine for the typical player unless you started accepting friend requests from questionable people. Wuthering Waves has also made an incredible change. You can join players' worlds that are at a higher level than yours, or you can join someone who's at a lower level. The drops will be scaled to their level. As I understand it, that's how that works. I don't know how they're doing the scaling. That's something that we're going to have to see when we go over to the live patch. As it stands right now, if people take resources from your world, they disappear, aka they can just yoink resources from right under your nose if you let them. Treasure chests, however, are not shared in the world, so you don't have to worry about anyone stealing your hard-earned loot. However, on the other hand, specifically for echo farming, multiplayer can be a fantastic tool, because if an echo drops for one player, every player in that instance can pick it up. It'll have different stats for every player, but it will definitely make echo farming in the early game a lot easier because you'll be able to do it with friends. There are also enraged echoes that when you kill them, drop a guaranteed 5-star or a yellow echo grade drop. You will have to be mindful as the team composition as you're going in, because it is still a max of 3 units, as of CBT2. So if you join a friend's world, they will have 2 characters and you will have 1, and if another person joins, then they will have 1, you will have 1, and player 1 will have 1. So just something to keep in mind going into it. As for the map and where other players are, unfortunately there was not an indicator on the map telling me which way your friends are or other people in your world. So you would have to look around until you could find their icon on the map to tell where they were. Definitely something that could be improved upon in the future. Wuthering Waves also supports cross-platform play between mobile, PC, etc. However, it does not feature cross-server play, such as Asia, Europe, playing with NA. So it's best to pick a server where you'll have friends on, if that's your thing. Overall, for a game that relies heavily on combat and quick-time events, the multiplayer felt very good, with little to no input delay even on high ping. Echoes are a system of almost monster collection, akin to Pokemon or Palworld. There are 52 echoes that I know of, but the number of echoes is going to grow and change over time as we get new regions, new bosses, etc. You can collect echoes by defeating monsters or mobs in the world, and when you defeat them, there's a percentage chance that the monster will drop their echo. As of CBT2, testing done showed that the chance was around 20% of dropping the echo of that monster. There is a stamina system in Wuthering Waves called wave plates. You have a max of 240 and they regenerate at about 1 every 6 minutes, so that's a full refresh for 24 hours. There are also things in WuWa called tacit fields that provide echoes and echo XP. They cost wave plate to do, however, with bosses taking 60 wave plate and tacit fields taking 40. There are also things called training which also take 40. It's something I definitely hope they change in the future because it feels a little on the expensive side. But as of right now, that's just the way it is, and tacit fields give you the materials that you need to upgrade your echoes. Different rarities of echoes can be upgraded to different levels, and thus provide different degrees of bonuses. 2 stars gives you 10, 3 stars can be upgraded to 15, 4-star can be upgraded to 20, and 5-star can be upgraded to 25. As of CBT2, echoes hid their traits as you leveled them up, and you needed a material called tuners, also given by the tacit fields, to unlock those, which made it really sketch and expensive to upgrade multiple echoes. There was also no way to use echoes that you didn't want or need. You just had to dismantle them one by one, which was a very tedious process. But recent developer updates have let us know that there will be a way to either mass delete them or use them in an echo fusion to get other echoes that you already own. You can also use echoes that you've already upgraded as partial XP for the echoes that you're upgrading. Not a super great improvement, but it's an improvement nonetheless. One of the coolest things is that there are echoes that provide functions other than just fighting. There has been word from devs that you'll be able to ride as Inferno Rider for a period of time by using the Echo skill. Of course, this is just speculation, so take my word with a grain of salt. But what I am most excited for regarding Echoes is shiny Echoes. They are a rare spawn chance, but they offer a different color scheme than your typical Echo. Whenever they spawn, they will have a 100% drop rate when defeated, but the rarity of the Echo may differ anywhere from 2 to 5. However, when you collect a shiny Echo, you're going to be able to apply that color to any existing Echo of that type that you have. So there's no need to worry if the shiny Echo has awful stats, or not the main stat that you were looking for. The gacha in Wuthering Waves looks very similar to other popular gacha games. 160 of the premium currency to 1 pull, or 1600 for 10. But it has a lot of the generosity that Kuro Games is known for. So if you were planning on re-rolling to look for that perfect character, I would say it really isn't worth it. The currency rates for purchasing are also the same as other equivalent gacha games, with a 2x top-up bonus for your first purchase of a particular pack, and then a small bonus with every subsequent time, aka 6,480 times 2 for 12,560 for the first time, and 6,480 plus 1,600 for every subsequent time, basically 80-80. The limited banner's hard pity is 80 pulls as of right now. We don't have accurate information on soft pity or if the game has a soft pity. Hard pity, however, for the limited banner is going to be 80 pulls to guarantee you a 5-star unit. 10 less than usual, but we do still have that 50-50 coin toss gamble. The limited banner also features 3 4-star units that will have their rate up. The limited weapon banner is where it gets really interesting and has some of that PGR generosity. The weapon banner has again a max of 80 wishes to get a guaranteed 5-star weapon, but now instead of it being a 75-25 or having a wish counter, so you have lost 3 times until you get the weapon, it's now, you just get it. You just get the weapon. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you hit that hard pity, you're getting the weapon. If you get it early, you're getting that weapon. The limited weapon banner has a 100% guarantee to get the limited weapon. The standard character banner is going to be the same characters that are in the novice convene. Same thing, it's going to be 80 pulls for that guaranteed 5-star. As of right now, we don't know if the limited banner units are going to be coming to the standard banner. And last but not least, the standard weapon banner. To guarantee a 5-star weapon, it's going to be 80 pulls. But with the standard weapon banner, you will be able to target the weapon that you want to pull for. And if you get lucky and pull it early, it will still be that weapon that you selected. You don't need to pull on this weapon banner early because in CBT2 at Union level 45, they gave us a free 5-star weapon selector. So if nothing changes, you're guaranteed to at least get 1 5-star weapon from that. That about wraps up everything I wanted to talk about today. If you guys stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say thank you. I haven't put this much effort into a video before, and if you liked it, please feel free to leave a like and hit subscribe or share this video with your friends if you found it helpful. And if you're looking forward to more Wuthering Waves content, hit that bell down below because when the game comes out, I will be streaming every day for at least a month, pumping out content that you won't want to miss. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons.